In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do 4 colors in one granny square, and I'm going to show you how to change colors in order to make this happen. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today I'm going to show you how to do 4 colors in one granny square. I'm going to show you how to manipulate the colors in order to make this happen so that a color only appears in one quadrant. Now with this particular idea, you can do a whole massive granny square. You don't need to stop at the size that I did. You can actually do a 4 quadrant and make it as massive as you would like to. And in this case, you can actually do a miniature square just like this, making it 10 rounds, and you can put it together, and I'll put examples on the crochetcrowd.com on the website on ideas on how to lay this out in order to have like a plaid or gingham look. So what you're gonna have today is that this yarn you're gonna ask me is the Bernat Little Tots yarn, and so it's for baby, and it really looks amazing in the plaid format if you wish. Really it's kind of a fluke because the colors are so amazing. It's just the way it worked out on the Afghan. So we've done another tutorial, just finished actually filming, and it was a 2-tone just like this, but in this case what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go and do the 4th, and it's just like 4 colors, and it's just very much the same. The only difference is that instead of going a half, we're only gonna go to a quarter and then change, a quarter, change, and just like the other one, whenever we finish a round we're gonna come back and turn our work and then go back in the opposite direction. So we're gonna have to really rely on dropping yarn and picking up yarn in order to make this happen, but once you're in the swing of it, it gets a lot easier, and when it gets bigger and bigger like this, you don't have to do it as often, and then it becomes a lot easier. I think the biggest part, that is the hardest part, is the center point to get started, because there's a lot of yarn working in this little spot right here, and I'm gonna show you the tricks to doing that as well. So this is the pattern provided on the one project that we're doing, and it's called the half and half, where it was a half granny square, one color, and half is another color. The only difference between this diagram and the other colors that I'm about to show you is that instead of going half and half, we're gonna go quarter, 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 but the same thing is gonna happen in between each. So do you see how it changes color here from one to another? Well, the difference is that each one of the corners is gonna be identical to that. When we get back to the very start, it's always the same, is that we're going to chain up 1 and then half double crochet, reaching over to put us right back into the center point each and every time. So every time we complete a round around, we're gonna turn our work and come back in the opposite direction, because when we drop yarn we have to pick it back up exactly where it's dropped in order to keep each quadrant looking the same. So let's grab our crochet hook and let's grab some yarn and let's see if you can do this. So let's begin. I'm gonna use the size J 6mm crochet hook today, and I'm using Bernat Super Value as my demonstration yarn. I'm gonna create a slip knot to begin, and I want you to insert the hook into the slip knot. Remember, it never counts as 1. We're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then going into the starting chain, I want you to insert the hook into the chain, yarn over, and pull through the loop, and you will have the center point of this. Doesn't matter what color you started with, because all colors will be equal within today's pattern. So let's begin, and we're gonna do each quadrant separately. So let's begin. We're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3. This will always count as a double crochet in this particular pattern. We're then going to come into the center of the ring for another double crochet. So wrap the hook first, going into the center of the ring, pulling it through, and pull through 2 and 2, and you want to do that one more time so that there's a total of 3 double crochets. Remember that that chaining of 3 counts as a double crochet. That's why you can see 3 here, but we're ready now almost for the next color already. But before you do it, you have to chain 1 first and then grab your next color. So off camera I just got another color ready here, and I don't want to create any slip knots or anything. I just want a nice loop like so, and I want to put this through the hook. Okay, right on the hook, and pull through. So that is considered your chain 2. But here's the thing, I need you to get this pink so it's out of the way so you don't trap it underneath any stitch work, and I need you to get this straggler plus the pink straggler and put it down on top of the ring and continue to bury that in. So wrap in the hook, going into the center of the ring, pulling it through, and pull through 2 and 2. This is gonna be loose right now, so you can just grab your pink string and just kind of pull things a little tighter, and you can always do it a little bit later, but you have to do it within this round in order to make it work, and then continue to double crochet 2 more times using the same color of the blue, just like this. And I want to continue to trap those stragglers into position as I go. So that was the second side. So let's move on to another one. So we're gonna chain up one and we're gonna grab another color. So if you want this to be pink and the other side to be pink, it's gotta be two separate yarn strands. It can't be the same. So let's just create the loop first and finish this and chain one. Let the blue fall out of the way. Let the straggler fall into the beginning, and you have now the green straggler, the blue, and the pink now down here. So we're going to double crochet 3 more times using this green into the center of the ring. This is the only time I think that it gets a little bit it blows your mind a little bit, but the whole goal is not to get those strands that are in behind trapped into position, such as the blue and the pink. You want these to be left out. Okay, we're ready for another side. So chain up one and let's grab our final color. I'm gonna go for sock monkey color. This is like a tweed kind of idea, and pulling it through and letting the straggler fall down. Okay, make sure it's long enough, and I want to double crochet using this new color. Now you're gonna have 4 colors now burying underneath the final revolution, so you have all 4 colors, and just go right up over top of everything, and you're gonna double crochet just like this. So now this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna chain up one and you're going to join it to the other side. So now that you chained one, you're gonna half double crochet. Make sure you don't ever go into a space. You wanna go into one strand only of string, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all 3 as a half double crochet. But before we continue, I want you just to turn it over, and you're gonna see the green is coming out of the green, the pink is out of the pink, here's the blue, here's the tweed coming out of this, here's your stragglers. Now because you've been burying them all along, okay, I just want you to pull on them, make sure they're all nice and snug. At this point you cannot do it if any other time. This is when you gotta do it. So pull them all, and I want you to grab your scissors and I want you to cut those now right down to the project, so they're out of the way and out of sight. You've been burying them as you've been going, so you can confidently do that. You can just stretch things later, just like that. So we're gonna begin the next round, which is round number 2. So in round number 2, let's begin. We're gonna chain up 3, counts as a double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Coming into the same space, you want to double crochet 2 more times. So the chain 3 plus this extra 2 double crochets equals 3. Chain 1, so you're gonna put a chain 1 in between each groups of 3. You're gonna start your next corner, which will be the same color, and there'll be 3 double crochets in there. So 1, 2, and 3. Now you're noticing that the green is really stretching out, but this is the time to pull on it now. See how that just pulled this over? So just pull on it and chain 1 with this color, let it drop now out of the way, and pull up the green into that loop like so, and now the green is ready to go. So in round number 2 only, you're just going to just continue now to double crochet 2 more or 3 more times. So 1, 2, and 3. And why I said only is that the reality is in this particular point is that in round number 2 there's only 2 chains here in the corner, where all the rest of the corners now from this point forward are all gonna be chaining of 3s. So chain up 1 and move to the next one. Here's your next corner. So you can see that there's 2 boxes here. So in this round there's gonna be an increase here. So we have to go right into the corner with the green. Okay, chain 1. Okay, the blue is a little bit stretched, so just give it a good yank. Okay, let the green drop in behind, pull the blue through. That is your second chain of 2, and then begin to double crochet using blue. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to chain 1 and coming into the next space, it happens to be a corner, so there's gonna be 3 into this one as well. So you notice I didn't pull up on the pink to make it more tighter. I do it after. So I'm just gonna pull on it nice and tight. Okay, I'm gonna chain 1 first with the blue, let it drop, grab the pink, and chain 2. Okay, so that pink is considered chain 2, and then coming into there and do pink for 3 double crochet. Okay, now chain 1, and you're now coming back to where you had started. So you're just gonna put in 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. To finish off the corner now, you chain 1 and then just reach over, so you don't, there's nothing there for you to grab, right? It's because you're gonna turn your work and go in the opposite direction. So you're gonna wrap the hook going into one strand, which is the top of the chain 3, pull through, and then pull through all 3 as a half double crochet. So now we're ready for the next round. To start the next round, you're gonna turn your work. Now here's what you're thinking. You're gonna see some of your strands all twisting up here. So if you're consistent, just turn it once and it will untangle everything. Okay, so you gotta remember to do that each time. So here we go. So we're gonna chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3 counts as a double crochet. And now this round and all other rounds are gonna be identical to each other. They're only just gonna get bigger, that's all. And you can stop at any time for your size. So the chaining 3 plus the 2 double crochets equals 3. Chain 1. Now you have a space. There's always gonna be 3 double crochets in a space. Just like this. And then chain 1. And then you're going to the next corner where you can see the blue. So the first part is gonna be pink. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, that blue's looking pretty loose, so just pull on it. See, just gets rid of it. Okay, so now for this round you're gonna just always chain 1 and the next 2 chains are gonna be the new color. So you're gonna take up the blue, this is number 2, and then you're gonna do it one more time. So just yarn over, pull through. So that was your 3rd chain, and then you start your double crochets. That's gonna be the same for each one of your stitches now going all the way around when it comes to these corners. Just remember to do that. So chain up 1, moving to the next space. There's always gonna be 3 into each space. Chain 1 and go into another corner. So the corner you're gonna start it, it's gonna be blue. So 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1. Okay, pull on the green to tighten it back up, grab it and put it on the hook. So this is chain 2 and chain 3. And now you're ready to go. So let that blue drop out of the way and behind and begin to double crochet 3 more times. So here's the trick. Do you see how you gotta, like the string coming up here, whenever you go to play in the corners you gotta make sure you keep the green together, because if you go in between the green and the blue you're gonna notice that the green is out of place. So you gotta make sure you go into the right space when you go to do that. Okay, chain up 1 because that's what's separating these groups of 3, and then 3 into the next. Chain 1. Now here's your next corner. So it's gonna be the starting of the green. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so we're gonna turn our corner. So first one's chain 1. Okay, let it come down, pull this color tighter, okay, and then pull it up on it. So that was chain 2 and chain 3. If this green gets loose on you just like so, just pull on it, it'll pull it back, and now it's the time to do it. So then let's use this color and put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, chain 1 separates each one of the groups of 3, so do that, and then coming into the next space, 1, 2 and 3. Chain 1 and then your final corner that you've come back into. So you can see that the pink is joined in already, so you're just gonna go over top of it. So 1, 2 and 3. There's nothing for you to grab to tighten that up at that point. So with the final corner, chain up 1 and then you're just going to half double crochet and just join it to the top of the chain, just 1 strand only, and pull through everything. And that's how you do these quadrants. So it's really quite easy. It's just a matter of understanding how to change the yarn. It's understanding to make sure that you gotta pull things tighter when you have an opportunity to do so, because you can't do it after you get beyond the round. So this is how you would do the 4 quadrant idea. You can go as big or as little as you want to. So if you just wanted to do minis, you could just fasten off. When you go to fasten these off, you can just make a straggler just like so, trim it, and then just put a darning needle and just weave it in 3 times to hide it into position. Now you can see that the way that it's done in the main pattern itself, you can just like turn these, you can flip these upside down and put them together. Because you're going back and forth in rows, is that there's an equal amount of good side or right side and wrong side of these particular squares, so that you can just puzzle them together, so you can have the blues all kind of coming together and etc. So that's it for now. Enjoy your day, have a super one, and until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.